So what we're going to do today is I've kind of themed it on this like meditation that I had to do as like a challenge. I don't know if you've heard of Deepak Chopra. And they got like, it's been spreading like crazy on Facebook groups because you're meant to share it. And I really like this quote, and it was I guess in Japan we're still kind of on technical lockdown, so I think it's nice to this is a really nice quote. It's just I won't go into the story unless you want to hear it later, but it's the message is, this too shall pass. So it can be, I don't know what your interpretation of this too shall pass. For me personally, I felt like whether something really bad is happening, you can kind of have the hope that this will pass, and that, you know, tomorrow will be a next new day, or later on you'll feel different. And also it can be used also when you're in a really good place, you're really joyful, and you can be really, really more appreciative of that really amazing moment, or that amazing something that you're seeing, like sunshine or clouds, and you can just kind of keep it as a good memory because you know that this too shall pass. So that's kind of the theme. And generally, I can pretty much see, I can see you apart from Selena. So just go about like 70%, I'd say, and I'm guessing that you know your body the best. I'm just teaching you, and then you're the number one teacher because you're your own teacher. So here we're just going to sit like comfortably. So if you've got a cushion, you can use it. Hopefully you're warm enough and you've got some water nearby and you're comfortable. And then here we're just going to bring both hands out to the side. And then here just relax the shoulders. And then here you're just going to take, we're going to take about 10 breaths, and then halfway through we're just going to change it a little bit. But just to start, just take one normal breath. And then next we're going to inhale through the nose this time. Hopefully you haven't got a cold. And you can keep your eyes closed or open, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then here you're going to exhale out through the nose again. And here you're just going to keep breathing the same way, just 4 more times. And if your breath is a little bit faster, if it's a little bit slower, that's totally fine. Just keep a count of which breath you're on, so I'll be kind of guiding you through it. And then on your next inhale, just going to sort of relax around your forehead, around your cheeks, around your jaw. And then exhale. And on your next inhale, just check how your shoulders are doing. Are they tense? Are they low down? Are they relaxed? And then exhale. And then 2 more breaths. And on the next inhale, just check your stomach. How's your stomach doing? Is there any tension there? My leggings aren't too tight today, so kind of get my belly out. See if you can relax your stomach a little bit further. And then take another deep breath here. And then next, you're just going to bring your right hand up to your heart, so literally on the heart, and then your left hand onto your stomach. So right heart, left stomach. And then here you're just going to do the same breathing, and then this time you're just going to check in on yourself. So how are you feeling personally? And however you're feeling, that's fine. There's no need to judge it. Just let yourself feel it. We're going to do 4 more breaths here, the same as earlier. So you're going to inhale through the nose. And then exhale. And then 3 more breaths, inhaling. Next, you're just going to check as you exhale how your body's feeling. Is there any tension? If there isn't any, that's totally fine too. Another 2 deep breaths here. And then final breath here. So we're going to make it a little bit deeper, so inhaling through the nose. And then exhale. And if you can, just keeping your eyes closed, you're just going to bring both hands up above your knees. And hopefully here you just feel a little calmer, a little more grounded. And then next we're going to inhale in through the nose, but you're going to sigh out through the mouth. So I'll do it with you. So inhaling here. And exhaling through the mouth, sighing out. Kind of like your Darth Vader. So you're going to inhale again through the nose. And then exhaling through the mouth, sighing out. And we'll do one final one. So here I like to say inhaling all the positive things, good thoughts. And as you sigh out, just exhaling the crap, the negativity, anything that's not very good. You can just exhale it out. And then just staying here. Another check-in, how are you feeling? How's your body doing? And next we're just going to bring both feet underneath your bum. And we're going to sit sort of seiza, so like Japanese style. And then here you're just going to bring, so hopefully everyone's knees are okay. Yeah, well, generally in Japan this is not too difficult to do. So everyone's going to bring here. And then here from seiza, if you want to go a bit deeper, you can always bring your feet out. So you can stretch a little more your thighs, but otherwise let's just stay here. And here you're going to bring both hands to the side, you're going to inhale. Hopefully you've got space, and you're going to inhale, bring your hands up to the sky. And then from here, we're just going to sort of clasp the fingers together. You're going to press your palms up towards the sky. And then here, you're just going to stay here for 5 breaths. So kind of the same breaths as we did earlier. So nice long stretch. So if you've been on the computer all day, it's the opposite. So you're going to press your chest towards the camera, towards me. And even the hands, so the hands can be here, but if you'd really like to open up those shoulders, just bring them as far as comfortable, sort of towards the ears, behind the ears. So another 3 breaths here. I'll keep talking to you so you can get distracted, and then if you'd like to, you can inhale and bring your hands a little bit higher. No, mine did not move, but intentionally, in my mind, they were higher. Another 2 breaths here. And then final one. And then just leave the hands exactly where they are. And next we're going to lean towards your right. It's kind of the opposite of where I'm going. And then as you inhale, we're going to go back to center. And then you're going to exhale to the other side. So to your left this time. And then inhaling back in. And then you're going to exhale the hands out. And here just let yourself have a quick shrug. Got a lot of tension. And then next we're going to do sort of eagle arms. So how you're going to do this is you sort of bring your hands out, so like you're flying. And then you bring the right hand's going to go underneath the left hand where the elbows are. And then the right hand goes up. And then the left hand goes up. That's it. So it kind of looks like this. So arms to the side, right underneath, left above. That's it. So it's kind of the opposite of what I'm doing on the camera. So maybe this way is easier to see. And then you kind of go on top. So left is above right. And then you kind of bring the hands together. That's it. And here you can kind of give yourself a hug if you want. And then here, if you give yourself a hug, just squeeze those hands and squeeze the shoulders in together. Otherwise, if you'd like to go a bit deeper, so this is going to sort of open up the shoulders. You can bring the hands together or I think this might be squeezing the microphone, so bear with me. And then otherwise you can bind the hands. But today my shoulders are really tight, so I'm just going to stay here so you can still hear me. So here you really want to, and so this one is for if you've got any shoulder pain or sort of this area, neck area, this is totally fine. You can stay here. But if you want to really go deep, you kind of bind together. So another 3 breaths here. I'm like really struggling to do it today. Oh, there you go. And if this is like, oh, don't know what to do here. So you're going to inhale and bring the elbows up a little bit further up towards the sky. It doesn't have to be huge. I mean, even a little movement, you'll probably feel it in your body. And as you exhale, you can relax a little. And you can do that 2 more times. And exhale. And inhale. And then exhaling, gonna let go of those arms. Just let them like shake it out, shrug it out, and do that on the other side. So this time the right arm is underneath, the left hand is above, so we're gonna go the other way. So kind of flying the arms to the side. You're gonna bring the right hand above this time, the left hand is going, so the left arm, sorry, is going underneath. And then you're kind of crossing, batsu, and then left hand up, and then finally right hand up. So here you can either sort of bind like this or squeeze the elbows in a bit more and then do a full bind, or if your shoulders, any pain, you just give yourself a nice hug. You deserve it. So bringing both hands either here, like kind of squeezing them in. And here we're counting from 5 breaths already. So it makes it a bit shorter as I'm explaining it. Or here, or finally binding. My bind is not very pretty today, excuse me. I'll just unbind, but if I unbind it comes out hard, so I'm staying here. So about 3 more breaths here. And then final breath here. And then exhale. And then your next inhale, just going to let go of those arms. And just give them a good shrug. That was pretty intense shoulder work for the start. And then here we're just going to give yourself a little rest. So you're going to bring both hands out in front of you. And here you can still stay in Seiza and you're just going to roll down into child's pose. But if you don't mind, you can press more into the hands. So sort of press them up on the front of your mat, away from your head. And that will really stretch all the way from your fingertips, all the way towards your lower back. Sort of pressing down, your hands down. And staying here for about 5 breaths. So instead of just doing like nothing, you're just really pressing down on the palms of your hands. And about 3 more breaths here. And then final breath here. And from here, so obviously you're pressing the hands down, but here you're really going to press down onto the sort of knuckle, not the knuckle, sorry, like the top of your palm, the hands here. And you're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to go into the downward dog. So if you already know this pose, just get straight into it. Otherwise, just press on your hands, lift the knees. They do not have to go straight, but what you want to do is sort of pivot the front body down, down, down. And so that your chest is pressing down towards the mat, and then the legs, if you want to, you can press your heels down towards the mat. Otherwise, if it's like way too harsh on the hamstrings, you can just bend the knees. And this is sort of like, if you're a complete beginner, this is the best pose to kind of start with, like this, rather than sort of muriari, like trying to press your like heels down. And I'm just going to check your posture because we'll be here for about 5 breaths. Yeah, nice. Yeah, you got it. Oh, Annabelle, did you want to move a bit more towards your cat? And I can see your whole body. Don't squish the cat though. It's funny, they really like to join people when you do yoga. It's like they get your calm energy. Or they're trying to get attention. Nice, nice. And next what we're going to do is really bend the knees. So it's kind of going to flow here. So if you're already leg straight, that's fine. But you're going to bend the knees as if you're almost kind of touching the knees on the mat. But then you're not quite. And then you're going to inhale and straighten them out again. So do that about 5 times. Then exhale down. Like you're kind of going to froggy jump, but you're not. And then inhaling, straightening it out again. That's it. 3rd time, exhale, knees down. And then inhale back up. Exhale down. And inhale up. That should be the final one. So you're going to exhale the knees down. And just stay here. So a bit of strength here. Kind of feel in your thighs as you can. And then you're going to inhale. And then you're going to bring the heels as close as you'd like to towards the mat. Otherwise, just sort of bend the knees. And then you're going to press the chest, down towards the floor. Hopefully your hands aren't slippy like mine. And then one more breath here. And then you're going to slowly walk the feet very, very slowly. So you can bend the knees if you want to, otherwise straighten them out. You're going to walk them towards your hands. And then here, what we really want to do is a forward fold. So you're going to sort of make sure that your chest is sort of, rather than your chest, your stomach is sort of pressing onto your thighs. Unless you're super flexible and you can go straight, I don't have that ability. So you're going to just stay like I am. You can bend the knees as much as you need to, but you really want to sort of be pressing here onto here. So stomach, thighs touching, and then bending down. So you really want to be touching the floor. If you'd like to, you can bring both hands up to your elbows. Otherwise, you can bring both hands just behind. I think it's the calf muscle. So totally up to you. So I'm going to stay here for about 5 breaths. This is always nice because a bit like down dog, your head is now the opposite way it usually is. So it's a nice little restful pose. But for me, I always find it really hard on my thighs. So just check how everyone's doing. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. But one day we'll have straight legs. I've been saying that for quite a while. For myself. Staying here, another 2 deep breaths. If you've got any discomforts, either just come out a little bit. See if you can adjust while still staying in the pose. And like the theme of the class, this too shall pass. Any discomfort you feel in a yoga pose, hopefully no pain, it will pass. And then next what we're going to do is, if you've got the hands on your elbows, just untuck them onto the mat. And then here hopefully you've got the space where you're going to inhale, you're going to come up really slowly. Maybe I should have counted, but you're going to come up slowly as you can. It's almost like you're playing a game here, who can move the slowest. And then your elbows are going to come to the side, your shoulders are going to come down. And the last thing to come up is your head. And then we're going to get into our mountain pose. I should have made the camera the other way so you can see the mountains. But you actually can't see it, you can just see the forest here. So both hands to the side, you're going to press down on your feet. So I prefer, there's different styles, but I prefer just to have my feet wide, just hip widths apart, so underneath the hips. And then both hands to the side. So I love mountain pose, it's a nice foundational pose. What I like to say is it's always nice if you can take some of the yoga out of the mat or out of the room, wherever you are. So next time you're standing in the queue, in the line for the supermarket, you can just stand like nice and straight. Hopefully you haven't got too much to carry. And then here, just really see where you're pressing on your feet. Are you more on the heel? Are you more on the front of the ball of your feet? Or are you more on your little toe? Try and press your feet really nice and widely. And then sort of pressing on the big toe, hands by your side. Shoulders relaxed, looking forwards. One more breath here. And we're going to move a little bit. So bringing both hands up above your head, nice and slowly. If you want to move a little bit ahead, you can. We're going to exhale, so we're going to do half sun salutation. But nice and slow, and exhaling down. You're going to bend the knees like we did earlier, and you're going to relax the head. And then you're going to bring your hands up to your shins. You're going to inhale, straightening the legs, looking forward. Nice. So what we're going to do here is have the bum a little bit up and the chest sort of down, and then the head doesn't have to look too far forward, just where it's comfortable, and then exhaling back down. So this first one's nice and slow, and then inhaling, we're going to come back all the way back up, kind of like your palm tree, inhaling both hands up above you, hands together, and then exhale, hands back down by your side, back into your mountain pose. Nice. So we're going to move a little bit quicker now that I've just shown it to you. We're going to inhale, hands up to the sky. And then you're going to exhale, you're going to go a little bit more forwards, forward fold, Uttanasana. And then your hands are coming to your shins. You're going to inhale, looking forward. So nice long back, chest a little bit down, bum a little bit up. And then you're going to exhale down. And then we're going to come all the way back up again, so inhaling all the way back up. Hi Nina. And then staying here, one breath, or stop the breath quickly, and then exhale, hands back down by your side. Then here we're just back in your mountain pose. We're going to do about the same pace, so one more time. So we're going to inhale, hands up to the sky. Awesome, and then we're going to exhale, I'm going to fold forward. So here, you're going to, like we did earlier, so your thighs are sort of touching your stomach, and then you're going to exhale, so the head just kind of hangs there, relaxing. And then hands to shins, you're going to inhale, looking forwards. The chest is kind of pressing down, bum's sort of pressing up. And you're going to exhale back down. And then inhaling, bring your hands up, up, up above you. Whoop. A little bit of a click there. And then exhale, back down into your mountain pose. So now, in your mountain pose, hopefully you feel a bit more warmed up. And just see again, where are your feet sort of, can you feel where exactly there, which corner of your foot, hopefully you're pressing the whole foot, but maybe you've got a habit of more pressing on the little toe, which is what I used to do, which gave me a bad knee. So you can just sort of see here where your feet are. They are the foundations of your whole body. So bring your hands by your side, see how your spine's doing. Is your bum sort of tucked out? Just tucking in a little bit. See if you can sort of feel your stomach. And we're going to move a little bit more now. So inhaling, hands up to the sky. Then you're going to exhale, you're going to fold forwards. And then inhaling, you're going to bring your hands to your shins, you're going to look forward. So here you can always bend the knees if you want, but what we really want to do is press the bum up, the chest down, and looking forward. And then you're going to exhale, forward fold again. And then here, on your next inhale, you're going to sort of stopping the breath quickly, you're going to stop and put your hands down, get into a plank pose. Here you have two options. So if you're, depending how your upper body is doing, you can bring your knees down. Otherwise, if you want to really do a strong pose, get into plank. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring yourself down. So if you've got your knees down, you're going to exhale, elbows in. So you're going to slowly bring your elbows in, chaturanga. And then here you're going to press down on your hands, press down on your toes. I'm going to inhale. We're going to go straight to a big cobra. So elbows in, shoulders down, looking forwards. I'm going to look at you guys. And then you're going to exhale, coming down, and you're going to prepare tucking the toes in, bending the knees, pressing the chest down, bum up, straight into downward facing dog. So Nina's just joined us, so we'll just press the heels, sort of press down towards the floor, but here you can bend the knees again, just because we only did one down dog before. And you really want to press the chest down towards the mat. And toes, fingertips as well. I didn't check who else was here. Oh, Clara's here. Hello. Nice. And what we're going to do here is just sort of bend the knees again. Bend. And then straighten. And what we'll let you do is just do freestyle. So you can kind of bend the right knee, bend the left knee, and just cycle out those legs, unless you've already been cycling. And then here, finally back into down dog. One breath here. It's a bit of an interlude. And then here, either, depending on your practice, if it's strong, you can bend the knees, froggy jump towards feet to hands. Otherwise, you're going to walk, walk, walk the feet towards your hands. You're going to inhale, hands to shins. You're going to look forward, halfway fold, bum up, chest down. And then you're going to exhale, you're going to fold forwards again. And then we're going to inhale, both hands coming up towards the sky. And then exhale, hands back down by your side. So it was just one sun salutation, but we're going to change it up a bit. So both hands by your side. We're going to inhale, hands up towards the sky. And you're going to exhale forwards. Bending the knees if you need to. Hands to shins, inhale, looking forwards. And then you're going to exhale again. But this time you're going to prepare your hands. So your hands are kind of in front of your feet. And then the left foot's going to come behind you. The left knee is going to come down. So we're going to get into the hips now. And then you're going to slowly come up. So here, make sure your right knee is kind of in line with your hip. I used to put it in a bit too much. I think it kind of did a bit of pain. So make sure you do that. And then your hips, the right hip, make sure it comes back a little bit. And then hands by your side. Inhaling, hands up towards the sky. So you're staying here. If you want to go deeper, what you can do is bring your hips more and more forwards. But here, really make sure if you're coming forwards, don't dump into the pose. So I don't know if you can tell the difference. Like here, I'm like overstretching what I can do. What you really want to do is still sort of pressing those hips together like they have a neji, like they have a nail, and they're sort of, you know, so try to just sort of still have a bit of control there if you're going really far down. And then inhaling if you're really far down, and exhale here, depending on where you are. Then inhaling, coming back a little further back, and then we're going to bring both hands down. Next we're going to do a bit of a funky pose. So your knees are down, your chest is going to come down, and your chin is going to touch the mat. You're going to press on your hands, you're going to inhale. This time we're going to get into up dog, so pressing the hands, pressing the toes. You're going to inhale, and the knees are going to be off the floor. So if you want to do a Cobra pose, you can stay here. If you want it a little bit stronger, stay in your up dog, but make sure you've got a bit of strength in the glutes to protect the lower back. Tuck the toes in as you come down, and we're going to exhale and get straight into down dog. So here you can either heels touching the floor. If that's like, ugh, that's like weird, you just bend the knees, but make sure that your upper back, instead of it being rounded, you want to kind of press the chest down towards the floor. And if you're hyper flexible, I'm just going to check actually how everybody is. Nice. So for Clara, you want to like press your stomach upwards. So yeah, that's it. That's it. So it should feel a bit different instead of kind of pressing all the way in. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Instead of kind of in the arms, you're kind of in the whole of your upper body. And then here, you're going to bring the right foot up behind you. And then the right foot's going to come in front of you. And we're going to do low lunge again. So left knee down, untuck the foot, inhaling up. If you're comfortable here, stay where you are. And then here, just make sure the right hip is back, left hip forward. And then here we're going to bring both hands back down. You're going to bring the left leg up, and you're going to get straight into a forward fold, so exhaling down. And then inhaling, we're going to come all the way back up, as fast, as slowly as you want. And then inhaling, hands up above you. And then exhale, hands back down by your side. Very nice. We're going to do that again. So other side. Inhaling, hands up to the sky. And then we're going to exhale, coming all the way down. And then you bring your hands to your shins. You're going to look halfway. So you're going to point the bum up, chest down. And then you're going to exhale down. And then this time, the right foot's going to come behind. So right foot's behind,
right knee down. Check your foot, have about 90 degrees. Make sure your knees are in line with the left hip. That's it. And then here, just bring the left hip back a little bit, right hip a little bit forward. So what it should be doing is sort of in line with where your chest is, shoulders are pointed. So that's it. Both hands either by the side, and then inhaling both hands up. And if you want to, you can go a little bit deeper, so you can bring your knee where it is, but kind of pressing forwards, and with your hips pointing sort of further down. But instead of going all the way down, really getting into that flexibility, you want to sort of still feel a bit of strength in those hips. It's kind of like you're squeezing the hips together, the outer hips, and then you're going to stay where you are, wherever that's low or high. One more breath here. And if you're lower down, just coming up as you inhale, staying high as you exhale. And then you're going to bring both hands back down. And we're going to do that weird pose again. So left knee's coming back, knees down. You're going to bring your chest down and then your chin. So your knees, your chest and your chin. That's the pose name. And you press your hands here. Either you come into Cobra, so here you press the feet down, shoulders down looking forwards. Or otherwise you can press on the palms of your hands, feet up, knees up. So you've got options here. In both poses, make sure that you're sort of clenching the butt cheeks together. Just really want to protect your lower back. It's important. And then exhale, coming back down, tuck the toes in, straight into downward facing dog. So here, just like earlier, you might want to shuffle the feet. And you got the knees bent, but nice long back. Nice. Just like we did earlier, we're just going to bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. So it's going to press your shoulders down towards the mat. So it's going to kind of open up your shoulders, and then you're going to press your chest up, and then legs as straight as comfortable. You can always keep them bent. And then next, bring the left foot behind you, and then the left foot's coming in front again. Right knee down, untuck the back foot, inhaling, coming back up. And then right hip's going to come forwards. So either you're staying here or you're coming further down. But if you're coming further down, you really want to sort of put a bit of strength in those hips, instead of just sort of coming down into the flexibility. And then one more breath here, wherever you are. And as you inhale, you're going to come back up if you're lower down. And then exhale, bringing both hands down. You're going to kind of press on those hands, bringing the foot up. And then here, you're going to bring yourself hands to shins, looking forwards. Then you're going to exhale. And in here, we're just going to stay where we are. So here, just staying into a forward fold. So what I want you to do is just bend the knees like we did earlier. Stomach touching the thighs. Right hand, left hand up to your elbows. And just staying here for about 5 breaths. So just see if there's to me personally, it's a nice pose, it's relaxing, but at the same time it kills my thighs. So just see and adjust what feels sort of comfortable. If you need to bend the knees more, ease off a bit on the thighs, or straighten them out more. You got about 3 more breaths here. Turn down my heater. And let me check the time. So final breath here. And then next what we're going to do is bring ourselves all the way up, but this time we're going to do it like a zombie again. So we're going to inhale. So the typical line you'll hear from a yoga instructor is like vertebrae by vertebrae, but you're just going to sort of slowly straighten up like a zombie with a good posture. And then hands by your side. You're going to stay here. And next what we're going to do is bring the left foot back. So I'm going to face this way for you guys. And then left foot back. But here what the foot's going to do is be sort of 90 degrees, same as the back of the mat. And then the right foot's going to be in front. And then here, what you want to do is check that the front heel is sort of in line with the arch of the back of your foot. So here, depends where you'll be. Either it'll be really close or far apart. The further you are, obviously, the deeper the stretch in your hips. And then right knee sort of presses forward. Left knee down, left hip down. Hands out to the side. So it doesn't really matter where your hands are if they're like too high, but really strong hands. So if I was not social distancing and on the internet zooming this to you, I would like, and if I knew you well enough, I would sort of press down on your hands, and hopefully they're like strong, because you've got the strength all the way from your toes into your legs, into the whole body, and also into your hands. So if I press down, it's just not going to budge. And then here where you want to look is to the middle finger, and just looking there. So at first when I learned this pose, it was really horrible, but now I guess from like snowboarding, my legs are a bit stronger. But so if you need to ease off or close the legs a little bit, do what you need to do to make it comfortable. And for Clara and for Nina, today's theme is "This too shall pass." I got it from like a meditation. So if you're super uncomfortable, this too shall pass. I'll go into it later. So looking in the middle finger, what we're going to do here is bring the left foot in. And here what you're going to do is straighten up the front leg. So now you're like a starfish. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into a tribal position. So right hand, I'm like pushing your right hand towards me, because I would be technically in front of you. And then you're going to press down the right. Yeah, nice. It's a pretty deep stretch, so it's not my favorite pose, but I like it more now than I used to. So depending on how low you are, you're going to inhale slowly, coming back up. Kind of bring your hands that sort of starfish position. You're going to bring the right knee forwards. Oh. And then you might bring your foot again forward. So you're going to look again on your middle finger, back into warrior two. And then you're going to bring both hands up to your waist. You're going to straighten that front foot. So here, the further your feet are apart, the stronger the stretch will be in the back of your hamstrings. So if that's not what you're looking for, you just want to kind of do this and enjoy it. Just bring your feet in a little bit further. Obviously, if you've got longer legs, this is going to be wider. So staying here. So here we're going to sort of tuck the sort of bum in a little bit. So you're going to have a really nice long spine. And then you're going to exhale down. So here what's going to happen is you might want to press the shoulders down, but you just want to press the chest down. And either you stay here, that's totally fine. But if you can, still pressing that chest forward. You might want to bring the hands in front of you, even the fingertips, and you might stay here. And then staying here for another breath. And if you don't mind, you can either stay here. I'm going to stay for a little bit longer. Otherwise, if you really want to get further, you just bring your hands down, and obviously you can go as far as you're able to. But instead of sort of moody pressing that sort of head down, you want to sort of press the chest down. So this is why I can't go any further. If I sort of go rounded, of course I can go further, but that's not the point. So see where you are, 70% for you. Also depending what you've been up to during the day, your hamstrings might be like, no, don't want this. So just be gentle. And then you're going to slowly bring your hands, if they're on the mat, you're going to bring them up to your waist. And you're going to just come halfway. So staying here again. So here, just pressing the bum up a little bit, chest down a little bit. Sometimes you don't need to do much just to make a bit of a difference in how this feels. And then you're going to slowly come all the way back up. And then jump the feet together and do that on the other side. So we're this way, this way. So this time we're going to bring the right foot behind you, and you're going to bring it 90 degrees and then both hands out. So I'm going to turn around. And then here, so we're going to do the same as earlier. So the heel, I don't know if you can see, maybe not, is going to sort of line up with the arch of the back foot. And then here, you're staying here kind of like a starfish, but then you're going to bring the left knee forward. So you might want to bring your foot more forwards. It's totally fine. Or maybe back a little bit. And then looking forward to the middle finger. And if I was not virtually here and right there in the room with you, sort of press on your hands and see if you'd like, if they're nice and strong. So kind of like, can't press them down. They're strong. You're looking in the middle finger, so that's your drishti gaze, so kind of where you can concentrate and look. And remember, if it's super uncomfortable, if there's discomfort, this too shall pass. So, one more breath here. And then inhaling, you're going to stay where you are, but the right foot's going to slowly come in. And then you're going to straighten the front leg out. So now you're kind of like a starfish. And then I'm going to push on your left arm, on your left hand. You're going to come down. So you can either stay here, which is fine, because what we want to do really, instead of your shoulder falling forward, you really want to have the shoulder back. If you like to stretch further, you can bring the left hand further down your body. So for me, this must be like my awkward side because I'm more forwards. So I'm just going to come up higher. And if your neck is okay, just looking up, looking forwards, or looking down, whichever's the most comfortable for you. And then one that I didn't say earlier was the right hip sort of presses back, the left hip sort of presses forward, which feels really uncomfortable. But we won't be here forever. Let me just check how you're doing. Yeah, nice. And if you need to bend the knees, that's not a problem. And then we're going to inhale, coming slowly back up. And then you're going to bring both hands up to your waist. You're going to bring the left foot forwards, so they're both like 90 degrees. And then you're going to get into like Malasana, which looks like Oyaji smoking pose. So you're going to bring the feet in, you're going to bring the bum down. So here you kind of are in your squatting position or construction worker pose, smoking, whichever you want to say. And you're going to sort of squat down, elbows are going to go into the nook of your knees, so in that sort of crease of your knee with the elbows, and then you're going to press your hands in front of you. So if your heels are up, that's totally fine, but what you really want to do is bring the bum up, the chest forwards, elbows out. So the here is really going to open up your hips. And then we're just going to stay here for a little while, just because time has gone a lot quicker than I thought. And then bringing the bum down onto the mat, I'm going to close the legs. And then we're going to sort of, so where your feet are is probably perfect. So about a foot about from your bum. You're going to slowly bring yourself down. Whoop. And then here we're going to get into bridge. And why we do bridge is just sort of to strengthen the glutes. There's so much, a lot of yoga requires so much like the spine to sort of bend a lot, which can cause a lot of lower back pressure. So what we're going to do is sort of strengthen the glutes, because essentially that's where some of the discomfort from your lower back might come from. For me, I think that could be the case. So we're going to sort of strengthen the hamstrings and the butt quickly. We're going to bring both feet, toes pointing up towards the sky. And then you're going to inhale, and you're going to bring the hips up. So your hands can be totally on the mat, palms facing down. And then here, if you want to make it more of a challenge, you bring the feet even further wider apart and further down. So here, this should really feel in the back of the legs. And then exhale down. If you want to bring the feet back in a little bit, you can do so. So feet pointing up towards the sky, your heels are touching the floor. You're going to inhale, bring the hips up. So here's not too much about how much of your chest is coming towards your chin. It's more just about the hips going up. So you should really feel in the back of the hamstrings, sort of squeezing the glutes. And then exhale down. And this time I'm going to bring the feet flat. So not quite underneath, heels underneath the knees, but a little further in front. So you're going to shuffle them forwards. You're going to inhale, bring the feet up. The hips up. So bridge pose. So here you're going to really squeeze the glutes. So rather than sort of, normally in yoga you'd be pressing like the chest towards your chin, but today we're just sort of focusing more on the glutes. And pressing down on your feet. Staying here for one more breath. And then slowly exhale. And then bring those hips down. And you want to sort of press the sort of lower back down onto the mat, straighten out the spine. I'm going to do that one more time. So you're going to inhale, hips pointing up, squeezing the glutes, smiling, And then exhale, pointing the bum down. And then this time what we're going to do is just we're not going to do a great deal here actually. Pressing your feet down, just really feel the feet on the mat, and or the floor. And then here you're just going to press your stomach. So maybe with your hands you can sort of feel the back of your lower back is sort of arched. So what you want to do is squeeze the sort of stomach, so the belly button down. And now your hands cannot go underneath. There is no more bridge under your spine. So just staying here, just feeling nice straight lower back here. And then exhaling, bringing the feet down. And just take a quick break here. See how you feel. See how your body feels. Let me just check the time. Oh yeah, perfect. So final pose here is Shavasana. I'm gonna get my bits to prepare. So I know that I've already mentioned this story to you guys, but just for Clara and Nina. So the theme was this too shall pass, and essentially it's a story, and in a moment of need from this king, in a sort of dire moment, so like a sort of bad situation, he wanted a message in his ring, and his servant, who he's known since a child, was like, you can only check this message in a really bad situation. So his kingdom's been taken by the enemy, the enemies are chasing him with horses, and he's at the sort of precipice of a cliff, and he checks this message which was in his beautiful diamond ring, and it says, this too shall pass. And he kind of has this revelation like, okay, this is a really bad moment. And for some amazing reason, the hoofs of the horses of the people chasing him kind of slowly disappear as they get lost trying to find him. And the story goes that he then wins the kingdom back, and he's having this awesome, everyone's happy, the kingdom's back, the king's back, and his servant says, check the ring again. And he says, why? Everyone's happy, everyone's glad I'm back, everything's good. But he reads the message again in his ring. This too shall pass. And I spoke about this at the beginning, and kind of whatever situation you're in, and I think it's quite relevant to what's going on now, is that it will pass. This too shall pass. And also when you're having a great moment, when you're really enjoying yourself, this too shall pass. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, I mean more like really enjoy it, whether you're wherever you are, being mindful to that situation. So that's kind of the story I wanted to tell with this theme, today's yoga class. And now you're resting. So Shavasana, corpse pose. Again, seeing how are you feeling? How is your body feeling? And in Shavasana, corpse pose, essentially you want to be like a corpse, but we are alive, which is great. So we'll have thoughts. So if the thoughts come, don't pay them too much attention, because this is your moment to relax. This is your moment to do nothing. And then letting yourself relax a little further. Letting go of any tension in your body. And then focusing on any sounds. That's my voice on Zoom. Maybe what you can hear inside the room or outside where you are. And relaxing a little further. feel a little bit heavier. If there's any tension in your body, can you let that go? Can you let yourself relax, be still? Can you let yourself place too much on your thoughts? And relaxing even further, staying here for a little while longer.
exactly where you are. Coming back into the space and your body. Gently moving your fingertips and your toes. Oop. And then bringing both knees in towards your chest. Oops. And give yourself a nice hug. Saying thank you to you for showing up, for taking care of yourself. Get a little movement, a little breathing, a little rest before bedtime. And thanking your body as well for all that it does for you. And then we'll bring the knees both to the right, and here you're just going to stay in a fetal position just for one quick breath. And then you're going to bring your left hand down onto the floor, and you're going to slowly bring yourself back up. And then if that's alright, we're just going to bring ourselves back into easy pose, across the feet, across the legs. Oops. Whichever way is more comfortable for you. And then we'll bring both hands to the side. We'll do one lovely last breath together. So we're going to inhale, bringing both hands up towards the sky. Then we're going to exhale, bring both hands up to your forehead. So I get a little spiritual. So may you have kind and loving thoughts for yourself and others. Bring both hands up to your mouth. May you have kind and loving communications, especially for yourself, mostly for yourself and of course for others. And then hands to your heart. May you have kind and loving intentions for yourself the most and also for others. So thank you so much for joining me. ありがとうございました。Thank you. Oh, that's my stomach.